Today, some of the top drivers on iRacing when it comes to the IndyCar Open Series make their way to Hampton, Georgia, where today we're at the legacy version of EchoPark Speedway, also known as Atlanta Motor Speedway. The European SOF just about all set to go for a second week here today on Velocity Online Racing. Green flag is out. We're underway from Hampton, Georgia. Good start for Russell. He leads the opening lap of the race. John Steller trying to run the outside. Steller trying to run the inside.
We're on board with Newsom in the 9 at the moment. And now finally there's a gap down the inside of Stellard, who he can dispatch of there for third maybe. But now he's in the dirty air and Stellard gets a good run. And meantime, side by side for the lead. It's been a remarkable run from Alexander Russell so far, just to hold on to the lead. It seems almost impossible to overtake right now, even while so many positions are changing behind, changing and changing again. That one for the lead just is not changing, no matter how much and how hard Kirkenbauer is trying.
Some of the drivers are just sending their cars in and not afraid to ride in. Look at this from Vogelsang. See a lot of them there. The problem is right there, getting tight, is Common coming off the 2. That just lost Vogelsang the draft to that group involving Alexander and Co. in front of him. Now Newsom for I5G, looking to try and get the run this time as a new attacker.
This is a great drive so far from Clemworth. Oh, he's now scraping the wall out of turn number 2 there. That's not ideal, but we spoke earlier about the impressiveness of Kelly Brashear doing this. Well, this is impressive to an even bigger degree for Clemworth here.
Second on back, losing ground to the leader because Russell's pulled away after picking up the toe off the lapper. Newsom holds on to second.
Russell now has come in pit lane as well, and I did see a lot of smoke, by the way. Wonder if he had a big lockup on the way in there, not entirely sure, but he's into pit lane and seems to have made the speed. So here we go, towards the end of pit lane, and first stop of the day for the long-time race leader.
Demerit nearly got hit on entry and locked up pretty heavily. No black flag, no issues with that new speed limit on the service. Well, no, crash on the straightaway. It's Vogelsang that just slammed the wall down, but no caution.
See it again. Oh, look at this. It's a precarious exit. The bumps. Big hit on the wall for Vogelsang, but didn't spin out or anything. And so no caution. And we're going to stay green, but there's a lesson for everybody. That bump on the way out of pit lane there. They're still exchanging here, these two, methodically, and maybe it is working. It is reeling in Russell slightly, but feels like to me like they would have done anyway. They are getting rid of Stellard slightly as well.
Newsom, you may have noticed, is a lap down. You have to make sure you're inside the yellow cone on pit entry. Newsom clipped it, and that's why Alexis Newsom is a lap down. She had been over the edge of the cone by a quarter of a car length and ran it over. Newsom just spun in turn 1 onto the racetrack. No caution. We stay green. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how that worked in terms of Newsom. Was that weight jack or just snapped around right there? Just got loose. Then after correction, it weight shifted, it looks like, into the grass.
And once one of these top contenders comes in, might be one of these guys, Kirkenbauer has now, so expect Russell to respond very quickly here. The final round of stops have been properly kicked off here by Kirkenbauer this time by.
Mixer peels on down, kept it inside the cone though, avoided touching it, and will keep on going.
Now watch out on this run through. We just see it here as we stay on board. Very narrow line, and Mixer's on it, Stellard not. Watch out for that bump. Now Mixer gets on it, but look at this. There's going to be a change of position here. Stellard taking that inside line, a little bit more conservative, but at least safe on that line on the very inside.
And Demerit just clipped to the cone and crashed on pit road.
Wow, that surely is that as far as Demerit's chances are concerned here tonight. I don't think he was going to get anywhere really near Russell anyway, but this surely is the nail in the coffin. Have a look at this, and this gives an idea just on board how difficult pit lane is. Just as you're braking, you're going straight on and straight through the cone, slides through. This is going to be a long time down pit lane for Demerit. They're still exchanging places like they were in the second stint, trying to catch Russell. Now, they are slightly doing that, but they've got to park any hopes of a race victory here. They're gone.
Couple laps to go from EchoPark. Matt Hollyball just reported they might run out of gas.
That's not ideal, but already outside the top 10 in that 7 car. Yeah, Demerit being involved in this is quite a remarkable throwback to earlier on in this race when legitimately on the lead lap, Demerit was involved in this. Well, not anymore in terms of the actual second place, but he is hanging around there in the battle as Russell takes the white flag.
Final time around for the power slide machine was one of the drivers that earlier on this year did compete in the iRacing Indy 500. Today, he's shown the speed of power slide, appearing in the Euro SOF and having a rocket. 8+ seconds, Alexander Russell wins in Hampton, Georgia. Second spot still up for grabs. Side by side for P2. Brashear gets it for P2.
This is one of the closer photos we're going to see this season.
You see the run coming from the outside. Try to find a way to clear. Couldn't safely. And Brashear this time got the boost down the straightaway. Like we've seen so many times here today. Was able to get the edge. The difference, as said, ends up being by about 21 thousandths of a second in the sim. Let's take a look at your race results. Again, these officials, since it is an official race. Alexander Russell was the winner today over Gil Brashear and Indy Kirchenbauer. Then you have Kyle Clonworth down in 4th. John Stellard holds on in 5th. Micah Mixer will finish off in 6th, with Ty Kua down in 7th. Alan Berteau in 8th. Christian Hildegard down in 9th. And Jacob Reed, your top 10.
Yeah, outside the top 10 for Rodin Eftink, who finishes 11th in front of Matt Hollibar, who did get to the end in the end. Alexis Newsom ending up in 13th after running up towards the front in those battles for the lead early. Seb Alexander, Pim van Gestel running out the top 15 with the Christopher Demerit down in 16th. That was a disappointing end for him. Gregory Thompson, the last driver to finish, and Milan Vogelsang, the only one to retire from tonight's race.